For every city you burn, I'm gonna build one high.
Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashtarothi, the voice of New Eden, and it is March 15th, YC126, and this is the Eve Universe Show! Welcome, welcome, welcome. What is CCP up to? That is the question of the day. We've got a lot of different angles to go over. Before we begin, I do want to say I have been feeling under the weather. I think whatever my son has been having finally got to me. Yesterday I was pretty wiped out. Today I'm feeling a little bit better. Not a whole lot. I've still been having a lot of coughing fits and probably sound at least somewhat congested, but what's going on right now is or what's coming up seems too important. And I know a lot of you guys rely on this show to get you kind of the updates and lore and other stuff and what's going on with EVE Online and CCP. So with everything going on, I figured that we needed to talk about it before I got too far behind. So here we are. I don't know how long of an episode this is going to be today. I don't know how my head's still kind of foggy, but I do have stuff to go over. Also, thank you very much, Malik, for renewing your membership, and Mr. Joshua for coming and joining as a member as well. If you want to become a member, you can for just, I think, $1 a month. You get early access to my videos. You can also, depending on the tier, get emotes and you know, there are special channels on the Discord, all that kind of stuff. Very much appreciate it. All right, so let us begin. You need a corp now? Well, the Convocation of Empyreans is recruiting, so you're free to hop in the Discord and reach out, and we'll talk about getting you in. All right. Hey, what's up, Punch? All right, so... Hey! Baby, Bad Boy Smooth gifting 5 memberships goes to... oh gosh, it scrolled. Oradan Royce, MNZT, Aikawarazu Chan, Aaron, and Lady J. Thanks, you Bad Boy Smooth. Couldn't have gone to some better folks. Missed Punch, though. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Hey, Sean. Here we go. Forge the future with EVE Vanguard. All right. So since December, monthly First Strike events have seen legions of war clones take to the battlefields of EVE Vanguard, shaping the development of this new sci-fi sandbox shooter through the participation and feedback, and forging a future of planet-side combat in New Eden. It has been increasingly clear that the Vanguard are here to stay, and their impact will only increase. The question is, what will the rest of New Eden do? Soon, the doors will open once more, introducing a mining laser prototype, which will add another layer of complexity to the gameplay, a sleek new combat suit, and new contracts that give Vanguard mercenaries a choice between corruption and suppression, deepening its connection to EVE Online. Okay, so basically, Vanguard is, of course, EVE's shooter that they're in development of. And the primary way that Vanguard is connected to EVE Online is through the corruption and suppression system. Now, the corruption and suppression system is most famous right now for being used in the insurgencies, the Angel Cartel and the Guristas attacks on the various faction warfare war zones. However, technically speaking, every system in the game has a corruption and suppression value. So, and that may or may not have different effects on different systems depending on their band of space or whatever else. And they might add in more functionality to this in the end. So right now in game in Eve, you run the faction war or the insurgency sites in order to raise suppression or corruption. And then they added in Vanguard, which only was able to raise corruption. Every mission that you completed rose the corruption. Now, partially probably because of this, the corruption that it raised was very low, right? Like even through the course of the entire playtest, it was like less than 1 or 2, like a handful of percent for a specific, for even a system. Its impact was minimal because this is just a trial. It also would be extremely unfair if you could corrupt effectively this way, but there'd be no suppression coming from it. It would basically just be free corruption, right? Because people are playtesting it. They're rewarding people for playtesting it. So it's just free corruption at that point for the people that are attacking. So what they're going to do now is they're adding in new play styles, new missions, and as part of that, some of the new missions will raise suppression rather than corruption. So when you pick a mission, you're not only going to be picking it based on the objective or whatever, but also who is asking for those missions, right? Is it Esri, Hogazotsu, or Zohar for the pirates? Or is it, Valkanir or Yanni, whoever they end up getting to ask people things from the Empire side? Oh, okay, that makes sense, Punch. I was so confused. All right, so we can see here a video. Now, this is very, obviously work in progress, but they show you spool up, and then it shoots the laser, breaks it after a few seconds, and then it looks like after he's broken the 3 points, like he doesn't get any loot while breaking the points, but once he's broken the 3 points, he can then loot the remaining piece, right? So while hopefully it won't look like this when we see it in a week or two on the whatever, when is it? Gosh darn it, when does it say it? It doesn't say it. They say it somewhere else. Anybody know when the Vanguard test is? Either way, hi, cat. I gotta pay the cat tax. All right, so it's also worth noting that, participation in this playtest is going to have a Corax and an Osprey Navy issue Arcombine Arisen skin. These skins are super cool, and the Osprey Navy issue is a really good ship. The Corax is a ship that exists, and then of course there's going to be prizes for top winners and all that sort of stuff. Chances are, like, this doesn't include the details of it, but there'll be 2 different tasks, one for one ship, one for the other ship, just like last time. And remember, this is part of some sort of meta objective. So, you have to complete so many objectives over the course of the several months. Yeah, the 21st. That's what I thought too. And then as part of that, now each time that they do this, they've been giving out these Omega deals that give you just enough time to be able to participate in the playtest. Now, the just amount of time has gotten longer and longer, I think, which means, of course, you're having to pay more and more. But in this case, you get 14 days of Omega access, as well as the Orthrus and Phoenix Navy issue Arcombine Arisen skins for a limited time. So the Orthrus in particular is likely going to be a really popular one, but more importantly, it's just very sexy. And then the Phoenix Navy issue, let's see. Excuse me. And the contour lines change color depending on if you're in warp and other things like that. So it really is a pretty impressive looking skin. And you get both of these if you go onto the Nest store right now for 250 Plex. So normally 500 Plex is 30 days of Omega. So you're getting 14 days of Omega. So technically speaking, you're missing out on 2 days. So you're giving up 2 days to get these 2 skins. All right. And so far, they haven't like doubled up on these skins. Occasionally they do that, which lowers their value. But as long as they don't, their value go up. That's a kind of a spoiler for later too. So the big thing I think for this one is that this is the first time that one of their playtests is actually adding something legitimately new versus previous playtests. Previous playtests were like we basically tested 3 different times under the same conditions, same missions, same weapons, same enemies, same land terrain, you know, all that kind of stuff. They've been improving things over time. It's not like they're doing nothing, but you know, we haven't seen any like advancement since it was first shown to us back in like November, December. So, well, actually back in last FanFest. So the mining thing may seem pretty small, but I think that it could represent a pretty big step. The new suit sounds pretty cool. I'd like to see more information about that. But either way, my guess is that we'll get more information about the detail. Oh yeah, it does say 21 March right there. Yeah, more information will be coming next week, so we'll talk about it more when it comes out. Next. Hey, thank you so much, Punch. Producer level. You're a good dude. With terrain movement and hitboxing. Yeah. Like I said, they've been basically just fixing what was there rather than building, you know, introducing new things, which I mean, it's fine and smart. FPS and Eve might mess the game up. Gonna get flooded with heads for sure. Actually, well, this wouldn't be the first time that EVE Online has had a shooter connected to it. You know, back in 2010, 2011, there's Dust 514, and that actually brought over quite a few people, a lot more than people probably expect or think. And the thing is that like Dust players were some of the most fanatical and lore oriented, and like if people converted from Dust, they ended up being very hardcore EVE players. So yeah, I don't think that there's going to be that big of a problem for that. Also, furthermore, like EVE Online is kind of one of those unique games where, you know, a bunch of idiots honestly can make things better for you because those are your targets, you know, your competition. So I don't know. If more meatheads show up, fine. Maybe we'll get a new null block. All right. Any rate, next is 20% off Plex plus free new skins. All right. So this is a deal going on right now where on the store you can get these different Plex packs with the Zydrine Burn skins. So they are 20% off or whatever, and that's fine. You can look at the prices if you want. The thing I really want to look at is the skins themselves. So the reason why I want to look at these is give people kind of an idea. You know, maybe you're seeing this and you're trying to figure out whether or not it's worth it. So first and foremost, you're already getting 20% off of the Plex. So, you know, you're already buying it at a discount. So there's that. So let's look at these skins. These skins, in my opinion, are actually some of the better ones. And more importantly, this set, Claw, Broadsword, Devoter, Pilgrim, Rapier, Claymore, these are not the ones that they've released last year, okay? If I look at the Zydrine Burn skin, we head in game and I look at the Zydrine Burn skins, we'll see that there is significantly more than the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are here. Um, and in particular, things like I actually already have the EOS Zydrene Burn skin from last year, right? So it seems to me like last year was the EOS, this year is the Absolution. It seems to me like last year was a set of ships, you know, one T2 cruiser, one T2 battle cruiser, one battleship, and a few other choices for both the Gallente and the Caldari, right? And then this year is Mimitar and Amar. That's basically it, right? There's a couple other things to note about this. Right now, there is a Twitch drop. If you watch Twitch streams, official partner Twitch streams or whatever, for 4 hours before the 18th, you will get a, which one is it? It's the Malediction Zydrene Burn skin. So you can get this Zydrene Burn skin for free or for really cheap. And you can see the particle effects down there. That's actually really good that they show it on that one. A lot of the times it doesn't show the particle effects very well. But I'll undeck and let you see kind of what we're talking about. When you are, when you're kind of speculating on skins, there's two big things that you're looking for, right? How much somebody out of the blue is going to say, I want that skin, and how likely it is to be resupplied, right? So the Zydrene Burn skin is on a lot of ships that like don't necessarily have a ton of good skins, but you can see that it has these green like trail effects there, which are pretty cool. It has it at the side, bottom, and a few other places. Oh, the side there too. And of course, it's extremely shiny green. So if you like this kind of thing, then you can pick it up. But let's say you're looking at it purely for an ISK point of view, okay? Let's look at it from a purely ISK point of view. So the way I'm going to do this is we have a comparison of, I think, 2 ships from this year and 2 ships from last year, so we can get a feel for the prices. Now, you know, obviously, because of the way that the sale is done, we would expect the Claw to be worth less than the Broadsword, which is worth less than the Devoter, which is worth less than the Pilgrim, so on and so forth, okay? So in this case, I have the EOS and the Absolution, and I have the Broadsword and the Ishtar, okay? So the EOS, sorry, the Absolution, I just bought it today from the market, so I can confirm that it's about 400 million right now on the market. So on top of everything else that you get for your Plex pack, if you get the Absolution skin, it's about 400 million, which is about true for most of them. Now I want to look. Hold on. Because the Claw would be the cheapest one. Claw. Zydrene Burn. Okay, so the cheapest one is 269 million, with the Absolution being 500 million, 400 to 500 million. And the Broadsword is 129 million. Okay? So that, you know, somewhere between 1 to 500 million for the ones that are currently on sale, which is pretty good. We should see that price probably go down a little bit as people buy the bundle until the bundle's over, and then we'll see it go up. But let's look at like what happens a year later. So the EOS skin was sold last year, the same as the Absolution, and now it is worth 1.7 billion. Likewise, the Ishtar skin is worth 2.5 billion. In fact, all of the other skins that I looked at when I was in Jeddah that are part of the Zydrene Burn skins from last year are all somewhere between 1 to 3 billion ISK each. So basically, what I'm saying is that if you are interested in these skins, it's probably worth it to pick it up, especially if you're looking to buy Plex anyways. But also, if you're just looking at it as an investment, these skins have proven to go up in value pretty good, I would say. Yeah, in potato mode, it'll be... Let's see, actually. Optimize settings for performance. There you go. Yeah, buddy. There you go. You know, I unironically kind of like Eve on potato mode. Like, there's something like kind of cool about the almost cell shaded quality of Eve in potato mode, but let's optimize it for quality again. Okay, so that is the Zydrene burn skins. We are making it through the topics. Next, there is a community beat that was released today. Normally, I don't always dig too deep into the community beat, but because there's so much that's going on that people might want to be paying attention to, I felt like bringing it up. First of all, right now there is the ongoing 20-year celebration of Eve University. There is the fleet tour in Fireside Chat with Kriba. I think that's probably already over. Maybe, I don't know. But then tomorrow there's a teach-a-thon, and then on the 16th there is a pirate fleet with Rix Javix. So, you know, there's some cool stuff going on there. In addition to that, what was the other one? Oh yeah, there's lots of meetups coming up. So on the 23rd of March, there's a meetup in Seattle. On the 30th of March, there's a meetup in Leeds. And of course, Eve Montreal is on the 30th of March as well. So if you've never been to Eve Montreal, it's a great place ran by the Sorry in Advance guys. Very cool. That would move it into potato mode instead of tanking FPS. It annoys me. Oh, like, yeah. You want it to be able to like downgrade gracefully. Yeah, I think I mean, that could be cool. That is, I mean, it does have LOD, but you're right. It doesn't like downgrade like automatically like adjust the quality in order to adapt. Okay. Oh no, I lost one of my things. I lost a big thing. Gosh darn it, hold on. I should not open up things randomly. Hold on. Fuck. All right. Here we are. Oh no, you saw my Googling. Hey, Vilas was gifted a membership by Mr. Joshua 07. Mr. Joshua, you said you just returned, already giving away memberships and becoming a member. Very cool of you. Hope to see you around more. Welcome to the community. All right. Vanguard test starts next Friday. Yeah, 21st. Which is actually next Thursday. So what are we looking at here, right? Last week, we looked at a tweet. Hold on. That wasn't the right thing. On the last stream, previously on Eve Universe Show, there's this, which is basically the rats in insurgency systems, the special rats that spawn when insurgencies get above 3, either suppression or corruption, have been dropping these special Chris chips that can be used to access a video file that is a partial, a chunk of a reconstruction of this data. More of it has been recreated than this, but this is just what I had to pull up readily available. The original one that we saw looks like it's some sort of like assessment, the physical and cognitive assessment, and then integrating it all, specifically focused around cloning and assessing the different prospective applicants. But now we started getting a new video, which is this one. Which, again, there are missing pieces here that are actually already found, but this is just the best copy of the video that I could find that I could use. It says at the top, Chemeltech, which is a corporation within the Gallente Federation. And it talks about a convoy. It has an origin, a destination, a team composition, mode of travel. The short of it is that at 1400 on the 17th, which is what, 2 days, 43 and a half hours from now, I believe, as of this recording, a convoy will be on the 19th. My bad. So then add another 48 hours. A convoy will be leaving the system of Ocelert, the station Chemeltech Research Center. It will be leaving this station and will be traveling to TXW TAC EI9. This is supposed to be a secured convoy of NPCs, and they have recently added in a Chemeltech geneticist, which is, I'm assuming, to be the thing or things that will be in the actual cargo of the caravan. So this does appear to be an upcoming live event. There's no way that they could possibly think that this is going to go anywhere besides a complete shit show, right? Like, they've even done stuff like this before, and it's gone very, very poorly for anybody who's trying to be defending or like, pro-Empire side. But so the question is, do they expect it to get attacked and blown up? Are they going to prevent it from having something happen? Is this part of something bigger? And if it is, then what? And why? So, there hasn't been any actual lore put out about it. There's been nothing on the EVE universe, or the universe.eveonline.com. In fact, the latest news in universe.eveonline.com is the Bowhead ambush from the very first Vanguard test. So my thought went the same as Jeff. My first thought was, well, the Vanguard test is coming up shortly thereafter, right? This is happening on the 19th. That's happening, Vanguard starts on the 21st. So like that, maybe that's what it is, right? But here's the problem. If you look at, oh boy, I was not 100% ready for this. Hold on. Roadmap. So when they released the roadmap, which they seem to be kind of sticking to, they said in March, we're going to get the mining prototype, additional contracts, suppression generation through a Vanguard activity, bug fixes, and balancing. So this is exactly what they said they were going to do, right? Like that's what they said here that is new about this month, right? So here's the thing about that. If we go back to that diagram, god damn it, we can see that it isn't until June that we're supposed to be getting a new map. So what is going on? So I don't know, but here's my tinfoil. All right. Let's go back and see what this says, right? Because there's something else that I think, yeah. It has become increasingly clear that the Vanguard are here to stay. Now, this is a statement that the Vanguard are here to stay. That's not a statement about the video game, okay? Otherwise, it would be like, it's become increasingly clear that Vanguard is here to stay. This is talking about the Vanguard, the in-game group of of clones, war clones, operated by the Deathless, mostly composing, at least as far as we know, of Arkhambine, right? So then it says, the question is, what will the rest of New Eden do? And I think that that is the critical question, and what this convoy is here to answer. So here's a question. Who is Cameltech? Well, hold on, I gotta find a picture. No. Cameltech is a rather unremarkable Gallente company. They've struggled recently in the past, you know, being able to continue to be successful. They're mostly an electronic warfare development group. There has been some like run-ins with problems with them, like back 10 years ago, but really not a lot has come from them, except let's see. I think it's going to be this one. We might have to try a couple.
On key Serpentis-controlled ore stations across the Outer Ring region. The assaults appear to have captured all stations in swift, surgical executed operations.
Nope. It's the other one. Oh, no. Where is it? Hold on. Now I'm not feeling, now my not feeling good is starting to kick in. All right, so there's a picture.
The small.
Way to ruin all of my idea. All right, well.
Of the enormity of the project's.
Upwell has a bunch of member corps. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, yeah. So the CEO of okay. Whatever. There. Is this gonna work? Aha! I go to my lore page on the Notion, my lore resource. I think this will work. Right? No? No? All right, fine. I'll just read it. A group of leading interstellar corporations comprising Chemeltech, Eifer & Co., Intaki Bank, Mortis Legion, Yitri, and Zoran Sons have announced today a special filing with the Secure Commerce Commission to establish a major space industrial concern named Upwell Consortium. So, Chemeltech was the Gallente Corporation. Intaki Bank and Mortis Legion were also tightly associated with Upwell Consortium. That's why Upwell structures or Upwell resources are being defended by Mortis Legion now. So if we go back to the news report, we'll see that they are taking it to the Intaki Bank. They're trying to show the Intaki Bank their progress in their cloning efforts. And that is what it is that this convoy is for, right? So this is Upwell internal groups, right? One Upwell member communicating with another Upwell member about, you know, this whole thing. Now, so far, especially given when insurgencies were first announced, the idea was that the enemy was going to be Edencom. But a lot of faction warfare players didn't like that because Edencom, like a lot of them are negative with Edencom, and, you know, there's a bunch of problems with that. So instead, they made the primary counterforce to the insurgencies be Upwell Consortium, right? And so the idea that, like, well, what is the rest of New Eden going to do? It appears that what we're seeing is the first in-universe, like, tangible evidence of an alternative cloning force than the Vanguard being used or being, created by Upwell Consortium to deal with I mean, like, if you think about it, Mortis Legion's and therefore main ground force, which means Upwell Consortium's main ground force, was Arkhambine. So, like, all of their ground forces are now like left. So they're having to get in on this, and they're developing their own cloning technology. This also goes into the fact that the New Eden Common Defense Initiative, Edencom, when they raised the taxes back in, I think it was 2019, they stated it was because they're researching and developing expensive personality backup systems. So there's a lot of different positions here where and the Caldari are developing their own like bioadapted soldiers. So, like, basically there's an arms race going on. And as of right now, we don't actually know who the stable, like, enemy, like, if you're not going to be part of the Deathless's group, then who are you? So, in my opinion, this is not to establish a new map. This is to establish why you can now do suppression on the ground. Right now, every single mission that you receive from Vanguard or previous months has come from a Deathless aligned agent, either Esfer Helgazotsu or Zohar. Those increase corruption. If in order for there to be new missions, including industrial missions like those interested in mining rare resources, then there needs to be another force sending other troops in there that you can participate in. And while CCP has so far allowed us to have our own headcanon about whose side we're on, they need, before they can formally have a group be influencing the suppressive value of the war zone, they need to have an excuse as to who those clones are. So that's what this convoy is. That's what this research is. That's what's going on. Upwell is creating their defense after the loss of their bowhead and the resources on it to Arkhambine Deathless forces, Vanguard forces. Upwell are now testing, developing, and deploying their own clone soldiers, or at least working on it. Yeah. Well, Chemeltech makes E-War. It would make more sense if it's sensor dampeners. Hold on. Actually. I'm going to pull out my Frigates of Eve book. I think... Let's see, the Mollis. It's all Duval Laboratories. All right, well... I'll have to look through this again. I thought some of the parts were labeled as being done by Chemeltech. Oh well. Mauled by the Mollis. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what comes out of this. I know I definitely want to participate. So we'll see. And of course, I'll try to record it and we'll report about it afterwards for sure. By the way, speaking of current events and in-game, I did want to give everybody a PSA. Right now, this insurgency is still ongoing. This insurgency is still ongoing. And it still has another 3 systems to go. So there's at least 1 to 2 days. And it's been going on for at least 4 or 5 days already. The reason why this is important is because of this system right here. Mehator. Mehator has gotten Corruption 5. Now, what's weird about that, like, Mehator is actually really hard to get Corruption 5. It somehow has Corruption and Suppression 5, I don't know. But, because it is the headquarters of the Amar militia. But nonetheless, it is Corruption 5. Why is this important? Well, back in the invasions, the Triglavian forces took the system of Niarja, making Amar go from 8 jumps from Jita to 40-something jumps from Jita. Well, here's the problem. As of right now, because of the loss of Mehator, those 40-plus jumps include 4 low-sec systems. Now, these aren't actually low-sec, but they are lawless, which means they effectively are low-sec as far as, like, the response for Concord goes. What does this mean? What this means is that for the last 3 or 4 days, and for the next at least 1 to 3 days, Amar and Jita have 0 all high-sec connections. They are currently high-sec islands away from each other. So that's pretty crazy. Not sure how you're going to use that information. Different people use it differently, but it is true. It's currently, I think this is the first time that one of the insurgencies were able to actually do this. Now, obviously, once the insurgency ends, i.e., once either the suppressors get 4 more systems and blow up the fob, or the corruptors get 4 more systems, 3 more systems, whatever, then the insurgency will end. And then 24 hours after that, Mehator will go back to being non-dangerous again. So, chances are this weekend is going to be interesting when it comes to transportation. All right. Excuse me. Oh boy. Now would be a good time for Sancha to attack Amar. It's true. I know that, like, well, so for instance, if you've got a lot of supplies in Amar, I would keep an eye on the Amar market. you know, as time goes on, supplies might dwindle. It's hard to say though, but yeah. The Lumen Fortizar is also under siege soon for final timer. Oh boy. Oh, that sucks. You should give me that information. Anyway, so there is one last major topic that I wanted to cover today. Before I go. Hold on. Yeah, the situation won't last long enough for supplies to dwindle. Some. Either way, I think that I think it's interesting. I smell an OPSEC violation. Yeah. Timers are not OPSEC. They're visible to everybody. All right, guys. All right, guys. You ready to talk about it? The bad one? At the beginning of the show, I said, what is CCP up to? That's what we've been talking about all day, right? Like with the shooter, with this weird convoy, how to fly through a busted system, with teeth. Project Awakening. Phase 3 playtest starts May 21st. So I want to point out that, like, we've been saying March a lot. May is not March, so this is not in a few days. This is in a month and a few days. Project Awakening is CCP Games' new blockchain-based video game. It says, a single shard survival experience set in the EVE universe. Project Awakening is built upon the principles of freedom, consequences, and mastery within a living universe. Enter the dark expanse of space where civilization is decayed in the ruins of its own ambition. Explore a hostile cosmos as you fight to survive against what remains and attempt to rebuild a broken world. So, in addition to that, there is some other information that they gave about it. One is that there is actually a hackathon that is going on in conjunction with what's going on with this whole playtest. This is actually what kind of caught my attention about all this, because, like, so for those of you who may not know, a hackathon is it's a quick coding competition, right? It's like a game jam, right? So, like, the idea is that you get a limited period of time in order to build some software or whatever based on, usually there's some secret ingredient or API or something like that that they have to use. And, you know, based on that, you can win prizes or whatever. It's just a good opportunity to, you know, maybe get a lot of attention on a specific code base, or, you know, a company to support third-party development or whatever, right? But it's weird to think about that in terms of, like, an EVE game, because, like, no EVE game has any scripting that, like, that doesn't make any sense. So what would a hackathon even mean? Well, this also kind of goes into what the hell we're even looking at. First of all, we're not looking at EVE Online as it was, like New Eden or whatever. This is a brand new project that is completely separate, and it is built on blockchain stuff, right? And it specifically says people need to be interested. People are good at, oh God, where is it? No. Where is it? I read it. I read something. No, that's not it. There is something about, I can't read it. There's something about the language that is being used for the hackathon. And for some reason it's not coming to me. Here we go. I found it. Today, CCP Games is excited to reveal the first details about Project Awakening and announce Phase 3. With a 26-year studio history, Project Awakening represents the first step in CCP Games' journey to create virtual worlds more meaningful. The next step, more meaningful than real life, designed with player empowerment at its heart. Project Awakening is being developed as a single-sharded survival experience, blah, blah, blah. It is set in the dark expanse of space where civilizations have decayed in the ruins of its own ambition. Players will explore a hostile and dangerous cosmos as they fight to survive against what remains and attempt to rebuild a broken world. Powered by the Carbon Development Platform and MUD by Lattice, CCP Games is creating a persistent world bound by digital physics where postability and programmability will enable players to build and collaborate on top, outside, and within the emergent game environment, unlocking boundless creativity for third-party development via blockchain technology and cryptography. To participate, blah, 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 an online hackathon will enable builders to showcase their ideas to CCP, with winning teams given the opportunity to visit the studio headquarters in Iceland. It is making its Carbon Development Platform open source, allowing programmers and game developers to access Carbon Game Engine framework and additional components for free. That's actually kind of wild. Come on, man. There is somewhere in all of this paperwork that talks about the language that you're going to need to do the hackathon in. And I looked into it, and it is literally the language that's used in smart contracts for things like Ethereum. So that's what they're talking about here. That somehow, and I don't get it myself. Hopefully we'll know more in a little over a month. There's another article. Stop. No, that's phase 2. Well, there's the Keeper, which is, we're going to get to that. I don't remember. Either way, all I do remember is that I looked it up, and it is the code for writing smart contracts, which are literally code that sits inside of Ethereum nodes. So, yeah, I have no idea what this could possibly mean. I am interested in checking it out and letting you guys know. But the fact that there is a hackathon to it at least implies there's some potential to it, right? There's something to do. But yeah, it's beyond me what it could even be. The other thing that I find interesting is that just by the descriptions that we read, you know, civilizations have decayed in the ruins of its own ambition. And there's another statement. Either way, like there's this, what comes to my question about it is, what is the setting, right? Like it's set in the Eve universe. So I assume it's New Eden, but they never refer to New Eden. And it doesn't sound like New Eden in its present time, because this is like a decayed world, which I mean, theoretically it is. So I think that this could I'm going to guess 3 different ways that this could be, okay? This could be in, well, not 3, but there are a few different time periods that this could be set, okay? The first is Earth, right? This could be pre-Eve Gate, all right? Second, it could be New Eden just before, or more importantly, just after the Eve Gate collapsed, right? That would, so this is like, when I say just after, I mean like, you know, call it a few hundred years ago when the empires first started to emerge into space again, right? So there's like the rise of the Amar and the Gallente and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, a few hundred years ago. Or this could theoretically be some distant future, right? When everything that we're doing now has fallen apart and now they're rebuilding for a second time. So all that said, I have a chronicle to read to you. The Keeper. This is from Awakening. The time is wrong. The trinary is not in the correct configuration for a new cycle. Instead, my oblivion is stirred by a distant echo of violence. One of our long-range sensor arrays had felt the murder of a star and a subsequent tremor in the stillness, and carried by the ripples one simple fragment of music. A technological signature and evidence of a human society somewhere out there. The simulations reconstructing this sparse data into synthetic specter of a civilization are vague, but pregnant with possibilities. A tangle of cultures, politics, and history that is complex yet strikingly familiar. It speaks of empires, corporate behemoths, and expansion spheres blooming into the unknown. A lost tribe, capable of great beauty and destruction. A hope. We are not alone after all. Too long the Gate Network hasn't carried the thinking meat through its veins. Too long the trickle of souls was dry. Too long the frontier had lain empty, churned and torn by the fierce tides, a desolate void haunted by traitor automata. Our hecatomb will not be in vain. The decision was made to re-trigger the program. A new crop is gestating. The music, though, if I had tear ducts, I would have wept. The time has never been so right. Metadata: user, keeper, date not unknown, location unknown, NP unknown. So, who is this? When is this? What is this? First of all, the word trinary jumps out real fast, right? Trinary data relics, trinary blah, blah, blah. However, and so like some people are suggesting that this could be the Triglavians, and it could very well be the Triglavians. It could be like maybe them detecting something like this. One of the theories is that this star, one of my theories, I guess, not the theories, or one of the things that stand out to me. What is it? The murder of a star and the subsequent tremor in the stillness. We could assume that that is, let's say, Caroline Star, or as Malik pointed out, even Salian. But that puts that in the modern age, right? Which is not any of those timelines that I just talked about. In addition to that, so we also see information about a synthetic specter of civilization, a tangle of cultures, politics, a history that is complex yet strikingly familiar. It speaks of empires, corporate behemoths, and expansion spheres blooming into the unknown, which all sounds like it could be referencing EVE Online as we know it now. No, I don't think this is related to the Chris chips. A lost tribe capable of great beauty and destruction also has a lot of potential to it. Are they talking about a Thucker tribe? Because that's like a tribe of... tribes are known for Mimitar, but what if this is something about the Sleepers or the Triglavians, right? This could be somebody that's identifying something as a lost tribe that isn't necessarily one of what we think of as tribes, right? So what do I... and then they also refer to long-range sensor arrays. What do I think this is? I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a guess. I'm going to go on a limb and make a guess. I think that the person here that's talking is Jovian. I don't know what the murder of a star is. I think that this is either set at the beginning of the empires or at the end of the previous empires, i.e. Talokan, Yanyong, all of them. Actually, no, I can't even say that. No. I feel like this is... it just doesn't... I can't bite into it, right? Because, it's... the Gate Network was shut off for a long time. It really does feel like the reemergence of the empires. Murder of a Star Eve Gate? Yeah, it could be. It could very well be. I just find it interesting. It's a very interesting post. And I think that the thing that interests me about this the most is because, like, our understanding of the lore is largely based on our one perspective and input into the lore, right? So if this is going to be set in a different time period, I wonder if it will reveal things about these cultures that we may not necessarily have known. That's what I'm kind of interested in. But overall, I mostly want to address the elephant in the room, which is, wait, CCP's still doing crypto? I thought that failed. Okay? I've been seeing this a lot. One of the things that frustrates me is, like, with the shooter and now with this, every time, like, a new development happens, people are like, wait, that's back again? Haven't they realized how much it's failed? It's like, no, it's still in production. Like, that's how this works. So let's show a little bit of timeline so that way people understand what the hell Project Awakening even is. And it all begins on May 18th, 2022, right? A16Z launches first gaming fund with $600 million commitment. So basically, this venture capitalist, as part of, that is really big into crypto, was planning to invest $600 million across different game studios, including investments from all kinds of big name people, like the founder of Roblox, the founder of Discord, co-founder of Riot Games, co-founder of Blizzard. All these big name people with money are putting it into this fund for the development of games that experiment with the kind of or push the envelope for blockchain and advanced technologies. Okay. Then, on March 29th, 2022. Oh, sorry, not even then. This is actually before. My bad. So before that, Hilmar meets with a whole bunch of crypto dudes at GDC. A lot of people freak out about this, thinking that we're going to be getting crypto in EVE Online. This is when, shortly after this is when we get that not for tranquility response from him, saying that the crypto stuff is never going to come to EVE Online as we know it, right? So then comes to March 21st, 2023, okay? Which is, by the way, when this previous article was updated. If you look updated, oh no, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so on March 21st, 2023, it was announced by both CCP Games and Andreessen Horowitz, which is A16Z or whatever, that he is raising $40 million for CCP to make a new game. This is a new effort. It's a separate, different thing, but that's where this came from, okay? And this project, this thing that they got paid $40 million to make is Project Awakening. So, to all you people who are suggesting that this is a waste of money, that CCP is that CCP could have better spent this money on EVE Online, no, they couldn't. That would get them in a lot of trouble. This isn't a matter of Hilmar wanted crypto in the game and so raised $40 million worth of money. what was happening was there was an amazing amount of money floating around in the ecosystem for this development. And Hilmar convinced a bunch of investors that he was the one to make it. That's it. If anyone is being fleeced, it's the investors. Okay? Like, Project Awakening, if it becomes nothing, then who cares? It's its own thing. But this isn't crypto failing. They're allowed to do this. They're able to make this project. They're able to hire more programmers and build more infrastructure and all this kind of stuff because of the fact that they got this deal. So I, for one, am interested in what Project Awakening has to offer. I do find it most interesting how vague they're being. It feels to me like they don't even know what this game is yet. But again, I won't know anything until the hackathon. And even then, I probably won't be able to talk about it because of NDA or whatever. Crypto's investors fleecing themselves? Yeah, pretty much. All right. And that was it. That was basically what I had to cover today. Next week, I want to come back and do more stuff with Kato Ash again. I need to edit some more Kato Ash stuff. I can't even think clearly enough to give you guys good answers and stuff. But we did talk about stuff going on this weekend. If you're interested in flying with me and Eve, you can always join the Convocation of Empyreans. If you're interested in the show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with a friend, at least one other person. Let's raise EVE Online's literacy throughout the cluster. And if you want to support what I do, become a member or, whatever. That's cool. But if you want to, you can always just jump in the Discord, hang out with us. You don't have to be a member to be in the Discord or even in the Convocation. And you can, flag yourself as being interested, receive notifications when I go live and other stuff like that. And thank you guys all for your support and everything. All of my sponsors and supporters. And like I said, if you want to fly with me in space, I've been trying to fly around more and doing more stuff, and I'd love to fly with you. And I'd love to help you be able to do what you want to do in EVE. Hey, Mr. Joshua, 07 to you with that gift, with another gifted sub, or membership rather. Very, very kind of you. This one going to Peckamix. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to say, before my throat fully gives out, I've been Astrothi. I've been playing this game since 2010, talking about it since 2012, and I'm here to put EVE into context for you, my fellow Empyreans. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for coming. And yeah, I'm going to say it. I got on stream while sick because I thought this stuff was so important to you. If you want to thank me, all I ask you to do is hit that little like button. It means more than you can think. And of course, come back to it once it's fully live and post a comment. Let's say, comment. Are you going to get the Zydream burn skins? If so, which one? And if not, do you want there to be more skins? Like, is there a ship that you want to get for the Zydream burn, or do you just not like the Zydream burn? Let that be a thing. Punchinello with 5 gifted memberships. You guys are crazy. Justin, Setonia, Nashtor, Brolox, and Conover. Thanks you, Punchinello, as well as myself and everyone that enjoys my content. My supporters are very much what allows this all to be possible, especially in the last few months where I haven't been able to make as much content as I'd like to for various reasons. Yeah, so thank you guys so much. I've been Astrothi, the voice of New Eden. And until next time, I'll see you in space.
every city